Alright, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Obsidian bases, and in particular one of the most common use cases, which is to track your collections, in particular media. But I'll show you how I'm using it for movies, TV shows that I watch, as well as some other stuff that I kind of collect. And this episode is brought to you by Cameron. If you don't know who Cameron is, stick around after the fun Obsidian stuff for some boring stuff about Cameron. So, this is my movie base right here, and as you can see, I've got the cover, and that's most of the information that I've got revealed. There's a little bit underneath the covers, but I don't put the title or anything like that. Now, one of the things that I saw recently, I think on the subreddit somewhere, was someone saying, like, what's really the point of this? And obviously that answer is going to be different for everyone. For me, I've got a buddy that I actually, like, we watch movies and TV shows sometimes independently, and then we meet on the weekends and we talk about them. So I will actually oftentimes take notes on the movies that I watch. Often very bare bones, you know. It might just be, depending on the movie, it might be just kind of like an outline of the plot. So if I revisit it, I can easily remember what the movie was. I'll put things that I like in there, things I don't like. Sometimes if I'm watching it on my computer, I might take a screen grab and put a shot in there that I enjoy, things like that. So this is my main media thing right here. So this is a markdown note with an embedded base. This isn't just the base file open, and I do that so that I can have space on the top where I can put stuff I want. So in this example, I've got a little call out here that's going to have the links to other media bases that I've got. So I can jump between them very easily if I need to. So just going over the base itself, it's very simple. I don't have multiple views, although I might do like ones that separate out, like all the ones that have sci-fi genres or drama genres and stuff like that. But that's a little bit more work because you kind of have to do a base per genre, and I don't know how useful that is actually. But I do have a table view where I can easily go through and check stuff off and just like kind of do some like basic housekeeping sort of if I need to change information about them. But that's it. It's pretty much just this one view. And if I go over here to the filter, you're going to see that the way that I categorize the stuff is not by a tag, but just by a property named a type that has movie in there. And then it filters out anything in the system folder, which may not even need to happen because I think the bases respect the exclusion properties in your settings. But that's what that is. So anything that has a type property with the value movie in there gets pulled into this. And I do that because I use MediaDB, which does that when it pulls in information from IMDb. So I'll go over that in a moment. If we go over here to properties, the only property that's visible, aside from the cover image, is something that I titled info bar. It's actually a formula. If you look over here in the corner, the formula is just the last watch value from the note plus the thumb rating from the note. So it's just taking the last time that I watched the movie and then the thumb rating that I gave it. So these are just property values in the notes that represent each movie. And so some of them don't have that because I have to go back and kind of fill that out. Although because I've been doing this with my buddy, we kind of have documentation about that. So it's just a matter of going through and doing it. And then each note gets, aside from all the information about the movie, it's going to get the last time I watched it, and then it's going to get a little thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs sideways. Or if I haven't actually explicitly rated it, it'll have a little question mark you can see on some of these. So when I click into one of the actual movie notes, we're going to have a link back to the movie catalog. We're going to have a callout that has the description taken from IMDb. We're going to have another callout that's going to have the name and year of the movie as well as the poster. We're going to have two more callouts, one that has metadata involving people, one that has metadata not involving people, so, you know, premiere date, duration, genres. We're going to have Another one that's got ratings, so it pulls in the IMDb rating as well as gives me a link to the IMDb page. This is personal rating underneath it that I can fill out if I want. I don't really do the granular number ratings. I just kind of do a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs side. Then there's another call out that says references. This is something that I manually fill in if I need to, and that's basically it's there so I can keep links to things like interviews or articles about the movies if I find something interesting. If it's a movie I really like, then I do sometimes like to seek out things like that for it. And so I can list it here, and then, if I ever think like, oh, what was that thing I read about? I can hopefully go back to this note and I'll have a link there to whatever it was. Then I've got another embedded base that's going to grab any media thoughts notes. So I'll do media thoughts is what I call them. Um, and you can see they've got a thumbs up as well if needed. And this is also a formula, so it's just a thumbs up and then the title of the title property of the note. I'll show you that in just a second. And this is so I can do multiple, basically, notes on each item. So if I rewatch a movie a year or two later, I can do a new note with new thoughts on it, and then if I want to, I can make connections from the previous viewing and stuff like that. Then at the bottom, I've got the related media, another embedded base that's got a couple different views. So by default, it's going to show us stuff from the same writer or director. So if I click to the properties, the filter, it's going to take a look at any of the following. It's going to look at the directors of the current movie. It's going to compare it to writers and directors of other movies. And then it's going to take a look at the writer of this movie and compare it to the writers and directors of other movies. So if someone writes a movie and then directs another movie, I want that pulled in here so it's comparing all of those things. And there might be a simpler, more streamlined way to do that, but that's what I'm doing here. So obviously, we're looking at the Bird with the Crystal Plumage. We've got a bunch of other Dario stuff here coming up. If we click here and go to the some of the other views, we've got contemporary media. This is going to show me anything that's the same genre that has one at least overlapping genre, so drama, horror, mystery in this case, that came out within a year of the current movies. So that's going to show us stuff that is same genre and about the same time period, within a few years. And if we go down here to same actors, we're going to see stuff where the actors overlap. And all this stuff is pulled in from MediaDB. If I go to something else, let's see. And then I've got keywords. Not much shows up here right now. Keywords is an actual property in the front matter that I just fill out manually. And that kind of just gives me another way to link things together. So I might say, I might have an alien abduction movie, right? And so I put that as a keyword in there. And then eventually over time, I go through and I fill out other movies that have that aspect to them. And then they'll show up here under related keywords. Now let's go ahead, let's add a movie. So I'm going to go to the command palette. So I'll open up the command palette. I'm going to search for media movie, and we're going to see MediaDB, create MediaDB entry movie. And let's go ahead, let's type in, I'm going to type in one of my favorite movies, Strange Days. I rewatched that earlier this year when I started watching, playing Cyberpunk 2077. We'll go, it's going to give us an option, a list of options to pick from. We're going to go to the 95 one. We go, okay, it's going to give us it's going to give us all the front matter that it's going to pull in. So we can kind of double check. So Strange Days, Catherine Bigelow, James Cameron, that looks good. That's the right one. We'll hit okay. It's going to go through and create the note. And I'll have a link to the template that I use as well. So there you go. It pulls in the notes, pulls in all the information, creates the note. Now, I'll have a link to the template I use here with the callouts and stuff. The callouts I've actually kind of taken from the Magic User theme. So I extracted those here, so you won't have ones that look exactly the same. They'll kind of just default to generic ones, but you'll have the same layout and you can mess with that however you want. If I go down here, so I don't have any media notes yet for it. We do have Aliens pops up. We're same writer, director. If we go contemporary media, we're going to get We're gonna get some stuff including the fantastic Scanner Cop franchise. Still waiting for the third one, but Scanner Cop, some of the best Cronenberg adjacent stuff ever done. If we go down here to same actors, we're gonna get Spider from Cronenberg as well. That has Ralph Fiennes in it. And then I haven't put any keywords in here, so nothing's gonna pop up. Now let's say I've revisited this movie. I want to add some thoughts to it. I have it set up so that basically when I do a new note with a specific template, the plugin templater is going to prompt me for basically how to connect it to my current notes. So I've already got a quick add thing set up here. Media thoughts. So this is from templater. What it's going to do is it's going to say associate with collection. And it's going to have everything in my vault that is tagged as a collection. Or not tagged, but has the property type as collection. So this is going to include movies, series, books, anything like that. Now, at the top, if my active note is one of those, it's going to be at the top. The little star here says current. So I'll click that. And it's going to give me a new note that's got a strange title, MT Strange Days 2025, the date and stuff. But if I go back here to Strange Days, now under that media notes base, it's got a tag, a little entry that says notes from Wednesday, October 29th. So, and that's because if we look at the value here, it's going to use the thumb rating if there is one. There isn't one on that note, so there. And then it's going to use the link to the file and the title. So if we go up here to the properties, the title is right here. I can just change it to I love Strange Days. Let me put a thumb rating up here. We're going to thumbs that bad boy up. Go back here to the movie thing, and this will change to thumbs up, I love Strange Days. So the reason I do, again, like the reason I do multiple notes that I can associate with the movies and stuff is because I'll rewatch them, or in some cases I might split them out, like I've been watching the VHS movies. So I just type along as I watch them about things I like, things I don't like about the different segments, and then I might break them up into individual ones here with their own thumb rating for each individual segment. And then one last thing is the way that the media thoughts are associated with it is I've got a projects property in the note that gets associated by templater when I make the note here. And I use projects because that's the same verbiage that is used by the task notes plugin to associate tasks with arbitrary markdown notes. And I found that I just like using that same thing. So this base right here is just grabbing everything that has a projects property that links to this same note. So I could actually, this could include anything that I want here. So that's pretty much it. Quick little look at how I do this. One thing that I do want to point out is I've got a formula titled beginsWith. The formula is pretty simple. It takes a look at the sort title of the notes, and it takes the first letter of the sort title. So there is actually MediaDB will pull in the title and stuff. I also have another one titled sortTitle that automatically the regular title just goes in there, but I can edit it. So I can remove the from the beginning of stuff into how it's sorted here. So, you know, the card player, where it's just, the card player is just sorted into the C's, not the THs, right? And that's just because I went through and I just changed that sort title. And if I go up here to this, the sort title is how it's actually like sorted by. So you can also use the sort title to change, like, you know, we got Alien movies up here. If you want to change those so that Alien Covenant is actually like the sort titles like Alien 5 or whatever it is, you can do that so that they don't like jumble around, or like the Saw movies, if you want Jigsaw to actually be like Saw 8 in the order of how it displays your movies instead of in the J's, you can do that if you want. If I go to group by and I pick that begins with property, what it's going to do is it's going to give me a begins with A category right here. And it's going to have all of the A's, and it's going to stop. You can see we got blank space, and then it's going to start on a new row, all the B's. And so I think this is a really nice way to look at your collections. I think people are going to really, I think this is a really nice way to use the grouping feature. Now, MediaDB also does music, books, a bunch of other stuff. I also manually do stuff with trading cards. So I'll snap a pic. These are just a small sampling. I've got a lot to go through. And then if I click through on these ones, you can see it's got a similar kind of layout with description of the set here, picture of the pack. I got a picture of the back of the pack. I've done some genres, and I've pulled some information manually from websites about the card set, and then when I open a pack, I'll snap a picture, and it's just gonna pop up right here. So pretty much same as like the media thoughts, except it's gonna be pictures of the pack. If I click through there, I'm gonna have more pictures I can go through. So you can do this with anything that you're collecting, and then I've got one media view, one base that's got everything, regardless of type. So it's got TV shows, movies. We got trading cards here. We're at board games. So mixes everything up. You just go through, click through, whatever. There's a lot of flexibility here. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do, especially I think when you start doing embedded bases inside of the individual notes that pulls and looks at other things and gives you kind of some context of where that note might belong versus some of the other stuff in your collection. So I think it's very cool. I think it's very interesting. I think it's very fun. Templates and formulas and everything will be linked down below, so you can go through and you can grab whatever you want. Also, there's going to be a CSS snippet that will let you hide labels. So like if you usually have like something here, you can see it's got the label created time and then the time and date. You can get rid of that created time label, right? And I'll have a CSS snippet down below. Hey, I'm Cameron. No face cam for the bulk of the video today because I'm not doing too good, as you can see. I was hospitalized, had some surgery happen, so that was a week, and now I'm kind of bedridden-ish for a few more weeks while I heal. Um, just wanted to mention once again very quickly, I've done a lot of cool stuff in my life. Done some comic books, some short story anthology things. I've done audio drama. I just put up a little short film thing that I did. And I've got a bunch of those that I've done. I'm kind of accumulating a bunch of them for a bigger thing later on. And one thing that I'm starting to do is I'm going to do little zines again that are going to be mailed out to people. So there's going to be a link below. It's going to be Stamp Fans is a company, and they offer people to mail out postcards and letters and things like that on a monthly basis very easily. And they just started adding zines. So small little zines, little half-page folded, full-color zines. And so that was really what made me want to give it a shot. So each month I'll be sending one of those out. It might have short stories I've written or something like that. Or it will have stories from when I was like making some of these things. I've got tons of pictures, behind the scenes artwork and stuff that didn't make it into the final books and things like that. It's going to be writing about the creative projects that I am in the process of doing. So it's going to be a whole bunch of different stuff, and I hope to have a lot of fun doing it. And so if that's something you're interested in, there'll be a link below that you can use. If you do sign up, if you put Stamp Fans in as a promo code, you won't be charged for the first month, and you'll just get a free little zine sent to you. You can cancel after that if you don't like it. No harm, no foul. So yeah, just something to think about if you got some extra cash and you like that kind of stuff. You like the physical things. This is something that I hope to be a nice companion to some of the cool stuff that I'm working on now that will be coming out over the next months and next year. And as well as I'll look back at some of the really cool stuff that I have done in the past and sharing some of the unreleased artwork and stories from how some dude with a full-time job and no real resources was able to pull together a bunch of artists from around the world to make some books and things like that. So hopefully it'll be mildly insightful at times. Yeah, go check that out if you're interested. If not, I still love you. It's cool. Have a good day. If you want to. You don't have to, though.